This is a weekly summary of interesting news that is relevant for my lectures at the Eastern University of Applied Sciences in Switzerland. My name is Thomas Bocek, and today we will discuss 5 topics. The first topic is about the 8 fallacies of distributed systems, and I mentioned those in my distributed systems lecture. And the first one, the network is reliable. And this brings me to the first story. Cloudflare reported a record-breaking distributed denial of service attack in September 2025. The attack peaked over 22 terabits per second and over 10 billion packets per second, lasting only 40 seconds. It targeted a single IP address of a European network infrastructure company. The attack was traced to over 404,000 unique source IPs across more than 14 different autonomous systems worldwide, and Cloudflare confirmed the source IPs were not spoofed. The attack has been linked to the Aisuru botnet, which comprises IoT devices like routers through known zero-day vulnerabilities. Aisuru is a botnet first identified in August 2024, offering DDoS attacks typically in the range from 1 to 3 terabits per second for higher. This was a UDP carpet bomb attack that targeted an average of 31,000 destination ports per second on a single IP address. The UDP carpet bomb attack floods a target by sending massive amount of UDP packets to many different ports on a single IP address simultaneously to overwhelm the target's network resources. The attack was twice the size of the previous record and was blocked by Cloudflare. Luckily, Cloudflare could handle it, but keep in mind that the network is not reliable. Distributed denial of service can be successful and cut off services from internet. The next article is also about network reliability, especially if you live in a country where extremists such as the Taliban use religion as a pretext to restrict access and limit basic freedoms. It's the following article here. Afghanistan experienced a total internet blackout starting September 29th after the Taliban government disconnected multiple networks and telecommunication services. The shutdown affected the entire nation of 43 million people, with internet watchdog NetBlocks confirming that telephone and internet services were impacted. The Taliban's supreme leader ordered the blackout to prevent what they call immoral activities, though officials did not clarify what this meant. They stated an alternative system would be established for essential needs, but provided no details. The disruption actually began on September 16th, with the full nationwide blackout imposed on September 29th without prior notice. The shutdown severely affected news organizations, with international agencies unable to contact their bureaus in Kabul. Afghans abroad lost all contact with family members inside the country, and several incoming flights to Kabul were cancelled. The blackout appears to be the most extensive coordinated telecommunications shutdown since the Taliban returned to power in 2021. And since the Taliban banned girls from attending schools beyond grade 6, many had relied on online classes from educators abroad, and these educational opportunities are now also under threat. The next article is about stablecoins, is the following article here. 9 major European banks are collaborating to launch an Euro-backed stablecoin compliant with Europe's market in crypto asset regulation known as MiCA. The stablecoin is planned to launch in the second half of 2026 and is designed to provide near-instant low-cost payment with 24/7 access to cross-border transactions. The bank established a new company headquartered in the Netherlands to oversee development and management, and the consortium remains open to other banks joining the project. The initiative aims to create a trusted European payment standard and provide a local alternative to the US-dominated stablecoin market. The stablecoin will also support programmable payments and improvements to supply chain management and digital asset settlements. This announcement came shortly after a European Central Bank executive estimated that the EU Central Bank digital currency, the digital euro, would not become reality until 2029. The banks have not disclosed which blockchain they will use for the stablecoin, and given that no permission blockchain has gained significant traction in the market so far, it would not be surprising if they chose a permission approach anyway. This would limit their chances even further, as they are already late to the party, competing with established stablecoins like USDT and USDC, which have gained adoption partly due to their availability on open permissionless networks. We stay in the crypto world, and the next article is about Cloudflare. Again, we mentioned Cloudflare before with the distributed denial of service attacks. It's the following article here. Cloudflare announced that it will launch a stablecoin, a US dollar-backed stablecoin called the net dollar. The stablecoin market has grown by more than $122 billion since this time last year, with total market cap now exceeding $295 billion. The company stated that stablecoin is designed to power what it calls an AI-driven internet, with use cases including near-instant global transaction, rewarding creators for unique content, monetizing APIs, and enabling programmatic actions from AI agents for personal and business use. The Cloudflare CEO stated that the web needs a stablecoin purpose-built for agents, micropayments, and other transactions. And this announcement came shortly after Cloudflare established the X402 Foundation in partnership with Coinbase to develop an open standard for digital payment, and 1 week after Google revealed its AI agent-focused payment protocol backed by Coinbase, the Ethereum Foundation, and PayPal. And also my students working on the QH protocol, they already include the HTTP payment directive. Details about the exact launch timeline are still outstanding, and Cloudflare has not disclosed which blockchain the net dollar will use. However, in contrast to the Euro stablecoin with the 9 banks I mentioned earlier, I'm optimistic that permissionless chains here will be used. The last article is about Circle's reversible USDC. It's the following article here. Circle, the world's second largest stablecoin issuer, is examining mechanisms that would allow USDC transactions to be reversed in case of fraud or hacks, while still maintaining settlement finality, acknowledging an inherent tension between immediate transfer and irrevocability. This approach challenges a core principle of cryptocurrencies, that transactions are final and beyond centralized control. Supporters argue reversible could help scam victims and increase mainstream trust in stablecoins, while critics see it as a threat to the decentralized model where transactions are permanent and immune from unilateral changes by issuers. The move comes as Circle pushes into institutional-grade infrastructure, having announced in August the launch of Arc, its own Layer 1 blockchain designed for enterprise-grade stablecoin payments using USDC as the native gas token. Arc is planned for fully launch by end of 2025. I see two problems. First, it adds a lot of complexity, and second, it is a fundamental shift where immutability, a central key element in blockchain design, is changed. The ability to reverse transaction introduces a centralized control mechanism that contradicts the trustless distributed nature of blockchain systems, where consensus rules, not some individuals. So, interesting times ahead. The stablecoin market is very lucrative, as we have seen. The total market cap is approaching $300 billion, and the business model here is straightforward. Hold customer deposits somewhere in bank account or have it invested that earns interest, while issuing stablecoins that pay zero interest to the holders. And even with the modest 1% interest rate on reserves, this generates substantial revenues, and this is ultra lucrative. That's it for this week. See you next week.